a square plus b square equal to c square. We learned it as Pythagoras theorem. But an Indian text wrote down the same idea centuries before Pythagoras was even born, and almost nobody is taught his name. In this episode of Decoded Sanskrit Science, I'll show you that verse from the Baudhāyana Śulba Sūtra, and then I'll be straight with you about what India can and cannot claim. The Baudhāyana Śulba Sūtra is a Vedic manual for building altars, usually dated to the first millennium BCE, and one of its most famous lines says, Dirgha chaturasya akshanayaha rujjuhu parshvamani tiryamani cha yat pruthak bhute kurutaha tat ubhayam karoti. And if I paraphrase its meaning, it effectively is saying this. The areas of the squares produced separately on the length and the breadth of a rectangle together equal the area of the square that is produced on its diagonal, rectangular diagonal. Yeah, so picture this geometrically as I just showed you, and it's the exact relationship we write today. The square on the hypotenuse equals the sum of the squares on the other two sides of a right angle. So it's a right angle triangle hiding inside a rectangle and its diagonal. And here's what I love. Baudhāyana wasn't proving school geometry for the sake of fun. He was designing fire altars with very specific shapes and areas. To turn a square altar into a rectangle without changing its area, you need exactly this relationship between the sides and the diagonal. So this Baudhāyana theorem is really a practical construction rule for sacred architecture written down centuries before Pythagoras. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is applied geometry. Isn't it fascinating? Now, let me be honest, because that matters to me and hopefully to you as well. Now, historians are cautious about saying India invented this 1,000 years before Pythagoras. Dating the Śulba Sutras precisely is difficult, and similar knowledge also appears in Babylonian and later Greek sources. So the fair statement, the one I'll stand behind, is this. The Indian, Babylonian and Greek traditions all understood this relationship very early. And Baudhāyana gives us one of the oldest surviving written statements of it anywhere on this planet. Now, this doesn't mean we cancel Pythagoras. It means we add Baudhāyana and other Indian scholars into the global story where they belong. Our ancestors used serious geometry in the service of ritual, proof that for them, spirituality and sharp mathematical thinking lived side by side. So here is the line to carry away. Long before it was called Pythagoras theorem, Baudhāyana was using the same idea to design precise Vedic altars. And if that makes you see Indian geometry with more respect, geometry with more respect, hold on to it and help give credit where it's due. As always, isn't it? So share this episode and follow Decoded Sanskrit Science so more people learn that India was on the front line of mathematical discovery, not watching from the sidelines. And so until we decode next verse together, keep your curiosity alive and your pride grounded in truth. Until next time, see you. Namaste.